Okay. We're just cutting it. Music is too emotional for this non-emotional time. I'm trying not to have my mic. I don't want my mic to rub against my sweatshirt. Let's see. Ooh. Oops. Check 1 2. This might look stupid. But let's try it out. Transitioning in. We're starting. And cancel. Transition in. I'm just setting up everything because I gotta do it. I gotta set up everything. Line of action. Got 2 windows open. Let's close that one. Only covered models. I don't want any babies. I just don't feel like drawing babies. Ah! The window expanded on me. Okay. What's class mode? Class mode gets you warmed up with gesture drawing and eases you into longer poses. No, I think we do this on our own. We don't need class mode. Okay. Greetings. Oh, I can't see the chat yet, if anyone's in chat. I don't think anyone's in chat. Where are we at? 2 minutes to go. Gotta mute myself. Okay. Okay. Line of action. Ah. Here we go. What does that look like if I transition in? Okay. I think that's good. Let me unmute myself. The voice chat, unmuted. 1 minute to go. Then we're going to start. We're doing it. Okay. Let's just see here. Okay. We got no music on? I don't want to listen to the royalty-free music, so we might just go at cold turkey. Cold turkey and straight into it. It's now officially 7:30. Let me grab my iPad. Just move this over. Okay. My mic is... I'm trying to get so my mic doesn't rub against my hoodie, because I noticed when I was doing the feedback videos, my mic constantly rubs against my hoodie. And it's kind of annoying for people that are watching to have my mic do that. Okay. Let's get started. Whoa, shit. Okay. I'm going to take this off because it's going to rub. Sorry. It's just going to have... That'll be how it is. It's more... excuse me. It's more obnoxious to have it hanging off my face. So we're going to just forego it. It'll be casually rubbing against my hoodie. And that'll be how it is. Where's my line of action? Line of action. Only covered models. All genders. Just checking something real quick. Okay, I'll need to check that later. Okay, let's just get started. Let's jump into it. 60 seconds. Number of images in practice. Let's just go to... I'm going to call it 12. 12 images. The goal is that if there's a repeat image, I'll skip it. So you got like 2 skips. 2 skips. That'll be what we do. Okay. Straight into it. Press play. Get my pen. Let's get the... I use this charcoal brush. Of course, it's on the hidden layer. Just charcoal brush is what I like to use for the life drawing. Okay. We're going to start it. Great. I'm working on a video for, it's not a video so much as it's like a, we call it a workshop. I'm working on a workshop for like kind of like a tips on how to be professional. And I've started that process of writing out everything. So I'm getting that done as fast as I can. I'm getting some feedback on it right now, and then once I get that kind of feedback addressed, I'll do a workshop video. It'll be streamed here, and then people in voice chat can ask questions. Oops, oh, I just ran out of time. You gotta work faster. Excuse me. People will be able to ask questions in voice chat, and then it'll be streamed and saved onto the channel. So anyone that wants to watch it later can watch it. That'll be the goal for it. This is really crappy. I did some figure drawing this weekend, but I feel like I'm doing a really crappy job right now. Of course, I did this on the wrong layer. Okay. We're just trying to block in the form as fast as possible. Yeah, I did some figure drawing this weekend, and then I feel like I did a much better job on the figure drawing this weekend, but just because I'm not moving fast enough right now. Yeah. Okay. This is a weird pose. Why would anyone do this? Yeah, some poses are like reclining poses where you're like, oh yeah, like the person is reclining back. Some poses are active poses, like that last one. It was like the guy catching a ball. You're like, ah, yes, you guy catching a ball, yes. And then there's these weird poses where the person's just like, let me do something no one's ever gonna see me do ever again. Week's gone off to a good start. Been busy with work, but I've been getting good stuff done for work. I'm a little behind on freelance. I'm behind by one drawing, so I'm gonna make that up today after this stream. And my dog's scratching the carpet. Oops, I drew it too big. Waste time resizing it. I should just not waste time resizing it. It's like precious seconds. Okay. Jordy, come on. Chill out. My dog's just scratching the carpet like he's digging for gold. I go to get coffee at this bookstore every weekend. It's a nice little bookstore, and this guy hand pours the coffee. He's there every weekend, and I go and get coffee from him and chat with him for a little bit. But he was a concept artist himself. I think he did environments. Oh man, that one was tough. He's a concept artist himself, and he did environments, I think, and then I think the project he was on got canceled, and he was like, he didn't want to get used to that kind of thing where you work in something and then the project gets canceled and you have nothing to show for what you've been working on. That's just part of the industry, though. If you're in video games, it's constantly projects getting canceled, studios having layoffs, large swaths of people getting cut. It's just kind of how it works. 5 more of this length. But yeah, So we always talk every weekend. We talk and I have coffee, and I stay there for about like an hour or so and chat. But I highly recommend having a little routine like that, where you get out of the house and go do something non-art related, just like grab a cup of coffee, chat with the barista. It's nice having like a little routine where you get out of the house. Because I work from home, so if I don't get out of the house for the figure drawing, the life drawing I do, obviously I'm still here in the house for this, but for the life drawing I do, if I didn't get out of the house for that, and the coffee, I normally wouldn't go out of the house. Oh, hold on, let me check one thing. Yeah, audio's still on. Okay. Oh, hello, Champman Art. How you doing? There's a way you can show the reference so we can follow along. Oh shit! It's not working. What? Christ Almighty. Yes. Hold on. Wow. I just realized I wasn't doing that. Why is it not doing that? Hold on. Let me try it again. Now it's going. Okay. Wow. If I hadn't read chat. I don't know why I did that. Crap. Streaming can be 50, yeah. Yeah, okay, so crap. I guess let's just say 5 poses. 5 poses, 1 minute warm up, and then we'll jump into longer poses. Chapman Art, are you on the Discord? Well, let me just erase this one. Okay. Are you in Dan Warren's Discord? Where's my life drawing thing? Line of action. Okay. We're drawing this pose. We're only doing it for 5 minutes. Come on up, Jody. Come on. I'm getting my dog perched up on his little place he wants to lay down. Okay, there you go. Okay. Sup, Artie? You're not in Dan Warren's Discord. What's up? 1 minute, 1 minute pose, 5 of them. We're doing 5. Starting now. Okay. I had the damn figures weren't loading on the stream. I was sitting here. I've already gotten down I already had like 5 done. So anyone watching this YouTube video, if you're like, wow, he's not letting us see anything, it was an accident. If you're watching this later, it was a total accident. Mike or Miguel, you can call me either. People at work call me Mike, and then I normally introduce myself as Miguel. I mentioned this earlier to someone else. People at work call me Mike, and then I introduce myself as Miguel normally, but all of my close friends and family call me Michael. But anyone, I go by Michael originally. Not originally. Originally it was Miguel. That's my legal name. But Miguel's my legal name. But then my mom and dad, they always call me Michael growing up. So my family calls me Michael. And then close friends call me Michael. Other people can call me Michael too. It's not like a rule. But oop, there's this guy again. We'll do him again because no one saw him last time. So everyone's like, "What do you mean again?" Today I thought about doing some longer poses once we're done warming up, and kind of keeping it at some long poses today. That's kind of what I was imagining we'd do today. Kind of change it up a bit. We normally do like 1 minute poses, then 5 minute poses, then we do some 20-minute poses. But I kind of wanted to like just go straight into some longer poses. 9 more. This one's a cool one. Hope everyone's having a good time. Normally there's people in the voice chat that we chat with, but they'll join later. I gotta make this the regular thing though. I had a therapy session today. It was really good. Proportions are all off on this. It's just part of it. You don't nail the proportions each time. 8 more. What the hell is he wearing? He's wearing like a scarf. Scarf, I know it's super quiet. I just don't want to have royalty-free music on because I can't stand it. There's no good royalty-free music. I'd have music on my own headphones, but sometimes, normally people join in the voice chat, so I don't want to have music playing in my headphones and then have people jump in the chat and then I have to like turn the music off. It's just, this guy again? This is all drapery stuff. Can't even see the cloth is so dark I can't even see the wrinkles. I guess there's wrinkles there. It's just too the screen is too bright in my face for me to see. Just going as fast as I can. 7 more. This is the last one. Okay. We're stopping. Not for the day, but just we're gonna do some longer ones now. I typically go from the 1 minute to some 5 minute, and then 20 minute. And so I think what we'll do is we'll jump into 15-minute poses. A 15-minute. It's going to seem really long, but and then we'll just do unlimited. 15-minute poses. It should be all clothed models, all genders. I just don't want to draw babies, so I just turned off the baby one. Okay. Everyone ready to go? We're going for 15. This should be a little more relaxed. If you're part of Dan Warren's, this is Citrus. You changed your name since Death Syntax was a little immature. Citrus, nice. Citrus. I'm in Dan Warren's Discord. I know I created my own Discord for, I don't want to do this one again. I know I created my own Discord for this mentorship I'm doing, but it's more for like the assignments. Rather than hanging out. I'm part of too many Discords, is what I'm trying to say. I'm part of Dave Raposo's Discord, Dan Warren's Discord, Russell Jones's Discord, Forrest Imel's Discord, Six More Vodka's Discord, Sam Peterson's Discord, the Concept Art 101 Discord, the Lightbox Discord, too many Discords. Those are just the art ones. Yeah. Too many Discords. We'll try and get this one do some tone on it, some value, if you will. I was coming up with a new running playlist today on the way to my therapy. I just felt it was time. It was time to get a new running playlist. I haven't done a new running playlist in years. I just use the same one over and over and over again. It's been like 8 years using the same running playlist. But it's kind of what I'm at. I try not to, when I do these studies, I try not to do the undo button. I try and treat this like it's traditional. So if I need to undo something, I erase it with my eraser. And then I try not to like use the warp tool or like the transform tool. I try not to. Sometimes I forget because I'm so used to working with it that I just completely forget to not use it, and I like end up undoing something. And I'm like, oh shit! It's not that big a deal. I try to make this as traditional as possible for the purposes of study. So I don't know. I always recommend people don't use all the digital tools when you're studying. You can use the tools whenever you're doing your work. You should use all the tools because typically you need to get stuff done quickly and efficiently. At least that's how I've viewed things. I always try and get stuff done efficiently and quickly so I can move on to other things. Okay. Oops, that finger is way too long. Okay, take a quick drink. We got gin and tonic today. Ooh. Hits the spot. Well, the head's all black, so I'm just going to shade that in. And then he's got these little shorts on. Shade that in. I can tell I drew him off. I didn't do him entirely correctly. He's off by quite a bit. Yeah, I can already tell because I'm trying to find his belly button, but like his belly button here, and then he's got his pectoral. He's all screwed up. Oh well. We get the idea. The shadow, follow the shadow shapes, so I'm just like shading in here, and then it looks like it's got some shadows here, and then shadows here. I got a new sketchbook last week for life drawing. I kept taking the papers from life drawing. They provide you with paper. So I was going there with just my supplies, like just my pencils and some pens. And I was just using their supplies, their paper. And it's nice because it's like a newsprint paper, and it reminds me of the paper we use in university. So that's nice, but I've been going there for like 4 weeks. Yeah, about a month. I've been going there, and like I just realized that I'm just gonna be loaded up with paper. I've got so much paper already just from those sessions, and I'm like, what am I going to keep collecting paper? Like as I plan to go every week, so I don't want to just keep collecting paper. It's too much. So I was like, I should get a sketchbook that's dedicated to life drawing. So I just have a bunch of naked people in there. So I got a nice sketchbook. It's a big one. It's in the UK it's called a A3, I think. A3. Just drop my sock. It's called an A3 paper, a page, whatever size, and it's like basically like a 11 by 17. So it's a big sketchbook, huge, and like it's perfect. So I can have like a big piece of paper to draw with, and then so I don't have to draw so small. Because I was trying to stop drawing so small when I do life drawing. I'm trying to get used to drawing bigger. So I'm going to start drawing bigger for like, not for the warm-up poses, but for the longer poses. I'm going to probably draw them at like a full page. So I've got like one, pose that I do for like 20 minutes at a full page. I think that'll be good. How long are my IRL figure drawing sessions? The one near me, yeah, mine's the one I go to is like 2.5 hours. It starts at 7 and ends around 9:30. 7 to 9:30, and then everyone hangs out afterwards and gets drinks. So it's a real social event. It's not just about the figure drawing. That part's important, obviously. That's like the whole thing. But for me, it's like a social event I go to every week. Yeah, this belly button's completely off. I just kind of approximate it there. Yeah, so we do, I basically make this figure drawing evening. I model it after the life drawing sessions I go to. So typically the life drawing starts off with 10 1-minute poses, and that's the warm-up. And then we'll do a few 5-minute poses, and then we jump into 20-minute poses, and we basically do 2 20-minute poses and take a break. Everyone goes and grabs a drink, goes to the restroom, and then we do another, like a quick 5-minute warm up, and then we do another like 20 or 30-minute pose. So that it's around 2.5 hours. Just noticing little details. Normally when I life draw, I don't try and make it completely the most beautiful image in the world. I'm trying to just take visual notes. That's how I do it. I do like more visual note taking. I'm just kind of seeing what I see, like the shape of this guy's quad does like this, and this does this kind of shape. Like it's that, and then it's down. I'm noticing that, and then I notice how the inner thigh goes more straight, and then there's this, the calf is more like that. It's kind of got this like shape like this. I'm just noticing little things like that, like that's the calf. And for the longer poses, when I do them in person, I do this kind of stuff where I'll draw the pose, and then I'll kind of look at like something more interesting. I'm like, oh, let's take a look at that deltoid, because it's a pretty interesting angle to see that deltoid. And like I'll redraw things a couple times just to like figure out how things are working. It's a really interesting angle. This is like a really good like superhero reference pose or something. Like it's like Wolverine like slashing into somebody. Kind of reminds me of that. I'm just trying to pay attention to how everything's constructed. So I'll do this. I'll just redraw things and be like, look how the elbow connects. Interesting. It's just kind of like shadow here, and then some shadow here, and then there's this shadow here, a little bit of shadow. Anyway, I'm just like trying to figure out how things are working. But this is how I normally do life drawing. I'll like spend some time on the main pose. I'll get it generally down, and then I'll be like, let's just figure this out. Let's just take a look at this. And then I've done long life drawing poses too, like where I took a class once where it was like I think it was like an 8-hour pose. Or was it 10 hour? It might have been 10-hour pose. Like long form atelier style life drawing. I've done that before, and that's really interesting. It's a completely different mindset from what I'm doing right now. It's not completely different, but it's like the focus is on accuracy with that one and making the picture look as realistic as possible compared to the person. So you spend a lot longer planning everything out. You really plan every little curve and angle, and you try and lock it in. That's kind of how that works. You spend like you spend a whole hour just planning out the pose. I'm going to skip this one because I want a female model. Not this one. It's the back of a chair. Yeah, it's like the atelier stuff is you really spend like a whole session just planning out where the angles are, and then that's like a whole hour of just planning. You don't even actually draw anything proper. You just like kind of what I'm doing right now. You kind of lightly block it in. You kind of like, okay, but you're being way more considerate. You're like, okay, this leg is like that. Actually, kind of goes down more like that. And you gotta like just get the angles correctly. That's kind of how it works with the long form poses. Much more breathing room, but at the same time, you still got to kind of work fast because the model does move slightly. So no matter what you think, you want to kind of get the model's general pose down as fast as possible, and then you basically use the model as a reference the rest of the time, because they eventually move, and so like they have to, like, the model takes a break at one point, so the model will take a break and then they'll re-sit in the same pose, but the idea that they're going to perfectly sit down exactly the same way that they did initially is just like unrealistic. So that's just one of the things. I'm just realizing this arm is completely off, so I'm going to have to erase all of it. How's everyone doing? How's chat doing? How's the week going? It's only the beginning of the week, really. You hate it when you look down at the paper and it looks back and realize the lungs. Yeah. Yeah, there was a model we had like maybe 3 weeks ago, and she got in this really weird, like, she like squatted down. She like squatted down and like she was kind of on the balls of her feet squatting, and the guy running the session was like, "Are you gonna be able to hold that pose?" And she was like, "Oh yeah." And I immediately knew she was not going to be able to hold that pose because it was like, there's such a weird angle she was at. And I was like, there's no way she's going to hold that pose. So I had to try and draw her as fast as possible to like lock in, the angles, because there's no way she's going to hold the pose. It was weird, like, it was just a weird angle for her. And of course, I locked in as fast as possible, and then I tried to somewhat finish the drawing. Thanks for, do the figure drawing, yeah. I did the drawing as fast as possible to lock in her pose because she was basically not going to be able to hold it. And I was like, there's no way. So I got the first pose in, and then I tried to get it locked in within like maybe 5 or 7 minutes. But the pose was for like 20 minutes. So I spent the 5 locking in the pose. And then maybe I spent 10 minutes. I don't know. I spent some time locking in the pose and kind of like getting all the angles right and like getting her looking decent. And then I spent the rest of the time. I drew her again as she basically changed her pose slowly throughout the process, because I was like, she was slowly like basically like slinking backwards into like a more comfortable position. And it's like over the course of 20 minutes your body doesn't want to be in an uncomfortable position, so you kind of do these micro adjustments with your body to like be more comfortable. And so she was slowly getting more comfortable, and then by the time the pose ended, she was basically like just sitting on her butt, because she was on the balls of her feet, like she was crouched over. And then like by the end of it, she was just sitting on her butt, and I was like, yeah, I didn't think you were able to hold that pose. It was just too much. Like for those long poses, you gotta like be like sitting or lounging, because it's just too much to try and hold that pose for that long. If anyone try, I mean, you could try holding a pose. It's hard. It's not easy to be completely still and not move. You naturally want to adjust. I mean, even when you sleep, you adjust. So yeah, all these angles I drew are kind of wrong. Like, what else am I seeing? The ambition. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, all right, good luck. I was like, there's no way you're gonna hold that pose. Something like this. Of course, I drew it too big. I gotta shrink it a little bit. That's the other thing about the life drawing. The life drawing I go to, the people are on like a cushion, like a big cushion, like mattress thing. So when they stand, their feet sink into the mattress so much so that you can't see their feet. So normally all my life drawings or sketches, they're all there's no feet, because like it just they sink into the cushion. So you don't get any feet practice, which is kind of annoying because feet are kind of hard to draw if you don't do it often. I try and do more of the figure itself. I don't try and do just the face that often. I did one face study 2 weeks ago, life drawing. The model was like basically lounging. It was the last pose of the evening, and she was like lounging in such a way where her whole body was facing away from me, and then her head was just like on her. She was resting her head on her hands, and like kind of right, looking at me. So I just had this shot of just her looking at me, and like I couldn't see her body really because it was behind the little cushions or whatever. So I just I was like, I'm just gonna do a face study because she's like looking right at me, and that was more to me. That was more of like an appropriate time to do the face study because I didn't really see the body, and I didn't feel like moving. Um, I didn't feel like moving to another location. Her neck's too long. I could just move it down. I try not to do that. But her neck's too long. I'm just going to leave it. It's a study anyway. We're just trying to... Oh my god, this looks terrible. I hate the way this is looking. Her neck... I'm just going to fix it. Fuck it. Her neck is just... Yeah, there we go. Something more like that. See, I try not to do that because it's kind of like cheating. If you're actually a life drawing, you'd have to just erase the head and redraw the head, which gets you more practice. You know, it forces you to practice more. You're like, okay, you have to redraw the head again, so you draw the head again. So yeah, that's why I don't try not to do that. But oh shit, I just realized we didn't press play. The timer's not going on. I'll just finish shading her and then we'll move on. Yep, I know, we were just sitting here drawing forever. It's like, wow, this pose is much easier to do because you have all this time. Keep forgetting. Normally I have people in the voice chat that would say something like, hey, isn't this pose going on for a long time? I know y'all are in the text chat, but the voice chat's just more immediate. You can be called out faster. Things going wrong. We'll just finish shading in the body and then move on. I gotta get some sketching done. Yeah, 15 minutes is longer than you thought. Okay, we're skipping to the next one. Actually, let's pause. Ignore this. Let me go back. Ignore that one. We're going to pause for a moment. Everyone take a break. If you need to run to the restroom, run to the restroom. This is break time. Grab a drink of water, run to the restroom, take a quick break. I'm just going to grab my drink, have a little sip. Let's call it a 2-minute break. I'm not drawing, I'm just using this as a timer. 2-minute break. Ba-da-ba-da. 2 minutes is a long time. I'm just giving everyone a little bit of a moment. Like if you need to run and get water, or if you need to go run in the restroom, this is your chance. Go run. I'm not going to make the session go on until everyone's back. I'm assuming you're either waiting for this to be over with or you're back from your restroom break soon. I gotta do 4 sketches tonight. Not 4 sketches. I gotta do 4 finished illustrations, but they're kind of like sketchy. They're not gonna take me that long. Like I'll probably be able to do them in like an hour, maybe 2 hours. They'll be pretty easy to do. So I'm waiting for that. Okay. 10 seconds. We're going to get back to it. 10 seconds. 2, 1. Okay, let's back out. I don't want to. No thanks. Only covered models. We're doing custom time. 15 minutes. Starting now. This is pretty good. I'm getting these weird poses today. When I do the life drawing, I always try and I forgot where I heard this from, but I heard it from somebody. I try not to draw the head first. I try and draw the body first. So like in this case, I'm drawing kind of like what I see as the trunk of the body. Like it's kind of weird angle, obviously, but I start with the body first, and then we do everything else out from the body. So you do the trunk first, chest, torso. This is interesting because there's like a foreshortening going on with this arm. Foreshortening. Maybe you're having fun today. We do this every week. I'm here every Tuesday doing figure drawing. And sometimes people are in voice chat, sometimes they aren't, but I'm here. So if you're on the stream, we're here every Tuesday. So you can get some figure drawing in. And then ideally you can socialize a little bit with people on stream. Boom. Let's get that arm in. Very difficult pose. Yeah, you gotta have the difficult ones. This is another like superhero pose. Like you'd probably only be drawing this if you were doing like a superhero or some kind of fight scene. It's also the kind of pose that you would never get in a life drawing, in the actual life drawing, because there's no way the guy could hold this pose for more than like a minute. A minute would be a long time holding your pose like this. He's probably doing it for like, I don't know, 20-second stops. That or he's just kicking out and take a picture, one of the two. He looks like his arms are really flexed though, so I think he is actually holding it. Yeah. Oh, that's completely off. I gotta erase all that. Okay, let's try that again. The foot is like down here. It's like somewhere down here. So that means we just draw through. Something like this. Might be too long. No, I don't know. Might not be. It's a little long. Let's get his head in. Okay. What kind of in there? Let's get that leg. We still got 10 minutes. We got time. You just gotta keep moving your pen. Or your pencil. Okay. Okay. Something like that. Okay, something like that. It's time for a gin and tonic. It's like 8:30 here. If anyone's in the U.S. It's 8:30 here. I'm done with work. I'm having my gin and tonic and life drawing. Yeah, we're in London. Comfy, yes. Very comfy. I'm just blocking in some of the shadow shapes. So I'm doing a workshop about how to be professional. I don't have a date yet, but it'll be a workshop with Dan Warren's Discord. It's free. It's just a thing I'm doing. It's a free workshop. It's going to be video streamed. It's going to be live streamed to YouTube on my channel, this channel here if you're watching. It'll be free. I'm going to go through basically stuff I learned over the course of my 10 years at a studio job. Stuff that I learned while working there. I mean, I still work there. I don't want to sound like I left. I still work at the studio job. So I'm trying to explain stuff I learned from being there, being here, or whatever you want to call it. And then ask questions. People can ask questions afterwards, and I'll try and answer them the best I can. Oops, I should have undo. So that's kind of that's what I'm doing. So once I figure out an actual date for that, I'll message people. So Citrus, I'll let you know in the Discord. But it's a lot of like simple stuff that take off my glasses. It's a lot of simple stuff like how to handle meetings and how to present work, how to like the basics. Honestly, they're just the basics. And if you're an actual seasoned illustrator, there's a bunch of just basically stuff you already know. But if you've never had a freelance job, or if you've never had a job at a studio, it's kind of stuff that they don't really tell you about. How to conduct yourself in meetings, how to present work, get a mindset, like a little bit about mindset, like what's your mindset going into work, some of that stuff. So yeah, I got a whole thing planned, so we'll go over it in the workshop. Yeah. Something like this. We got 3 minutes left. The core shadows are a little darker. Core shadows are like here. My eyes are killing me. Where's my other glasses? I have these are like blue light glasses. They're all dirty. Crap. They're all dirty, but they're blue light glasses that I normally wear during the day. I should have been wearing right now because the background of this is really bright. Anyway, that's better. These are all smudged now, so there's no use in trying to wear them. Okay. Yeah, so if you like doing this figure drawing, like the way we're doing it now, we're here every Tuesday. I can get you an invite to Dan Warren's Discord if you want to jump onto voice chat and actually talk. That's kind of a it's not my Discord, so that's why I don't I don't actually normally. What I'll do is I'll ask the moderator for a link because I don't want to invite people to someone else's Discord like it's not mine. I have my own Discord, but like I said, I literally just made it yesterday. Or was it today? It was yesterday, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's easier to talk because if you're following the stream, you should be drawing. So it's hard to type and draw. Only 40 seconds left. It's only 8:37. I think we have time for some more poses. Oh, yeah. The gorillas. Yeah, you could use this sketch for, because he's kind of like a dude jumping over something. It's kind of like vaulting over. Okay. Oh, I see. So it pauses. Should we do this one? I want to do a female model. I want to do a female model with better lighting. This one's okay, but the clothes are kind of like too. She's pretty ripped. I want something in between. I did her already. Same ripped lady. There's only so many models on here that are clothed. Oh, here we go. We'll draw her. I didn't want someone completely ripped, and I didn't want someone completely clothed. I think this will be the last pose for the day. 15 minutes, which should take us right to 9 p.m. my time. That gives me time to work on freelance tonight before bed. So, did I press play? No, I did not. Play. N-A. What does that do? Oh, crap. Oh, no, we start at 7:30. We'll do a couple. We can do a couple poses. This thing's been glitching. When is the event? Yeah, 7:30. 7:30. I don't know if it makes a difference, gross girl, but the UK jumped forward an hour on Sunday, so maybe you're off by an hour. I think you're off by an hour, gross girl, because we jumped forward an hour on Sunday. So it's the same time for me as we normally do, but I think for you, you got it stuck in your head. No, it's okay. We're doing a 15-minute pose, so feel free to join in. It might be the time change. Screws me up. Whoa! Look at this. This is weird. Yeah, okay, I'll draw this weird person in a mask. Interesting. So interesting. Huh. Okay. Yeah, well, the time change. Yeah, I know it's a weird figure. The time change for the UK is like 2 weeks different from the US. So we've been 2 weeks behind. So I'm like off. No, I'm off from my work. Um, by like an extra hour for like 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, I get off work an hour early. Well, I mean, I start early, and I don't just get off an hour early. I start early for 2 weeks, and I'm done an hour early, and then we get back on track with y'all. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at. It is an interesting one. I don't know what the function of the mask is. I mean, like the skin tight suit makes sense because it's kind of like a nude model, but they're in a skin tight suit, so we can, they're clothed. But the mask that's just them being goofy. She's being a goofball. Whoa. Just heard somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who it is. I haven't checked voice chat. Someone in voice chat. Uh,
Am I not supposed to be here?
no, you are. It's been quiet all evening, so I didn't know who it was yet because I'm in the middle of drawing.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a huckable.
It's yeah, yeah. It's Jacobo, but you
Hakobo.
know what?
Hakobo. So there's
Yeah,
an emphasis on the second part.
yes, yes.
Hakobo. Okay. I'm trying to say it right because I've got like multiple names and I understand using multiple names too. So
Uh, there's Miguel, and then of course Miguel.
yeah, Miguel. It was supposed to be Miguel. It's technically because it's a Spanish name, but everyone always goes Miguel.
And then of course I feel like the one that it's like Miguel has more has more sauce to it. It's like, hey, who is it? It's like it's like it's Miguel.
Yeah. Um, I was just talking to Gross Girl about this today, and she was like, What do you prefer, Mike or Miguel?" And I was like, "Well, technically, Miguel's my legal name, but all my close friends and family call me Michael. But then everyone at work and people I met during university call me Mike, and I use Mike as my handle online. So I kind of got like all kinds of names. I don't really have a real preference."
Yeah, I think I know it's Jason. Sorry, sorry. I am in the I'm a I'm a worker in the school system in America, the DOE,
Mm-hmm.
and I am basically wrestling whether I should I should work for the summer. I don't want to, but at the same time, it's like, hey, the hours are from eight to one p.m. So it's like it's basically a part-time job during the summer,
Mm.
and you know it's like might as well pocket some extra cash on the days that you won't be working because it's summer.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like there's like a currently there's like a requirement where I have to be like a full time UFP para, and I'm a sub para, so I'm not sure if that counts.
Oh, interesting. I taught art in an after school program 1 year, or like not 1 year, but one summer. I guess it was kind of 1 year and one summer. It was like an after school program, and then I taught the summer program. Um, but that was like before I was really doing it professionally. So I kind of felt like I didn't know what I was doing, even though I was just teaching kids. Like I didn't feel like I was good enough to be teaching. How have you been? We're supposed to chat soon, but we're here now.
How I've been? Well, I'm I'm trying to like I am doing all right. I recently went to I think summer no not Mocha Fest, and
Oh,
yeah I sold some prints.
oh, nice,
I made I made $30.
nice.
Yeah, no, yeah, great, yep, nice. You know, better than nothing.
Yeah, I've only done like 2 conventions, but I needed if I were to ever do a convention again, I would need to really come up with something marketable that I wasn't going to draw.
Yeah, next time I'm doing, I don't know. It's like I think the the prints that did like the best were I think the best was Warhammer pieces that I did in the Anthony Chong Jones mentorship.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we can't hear Jacobo on the okay. Just a
VC
second.
in streams really quiet. Check 1 2. Huckable.
Hello, hello. I hate my job. I hate my job.
It says it's capturing you. It says it's capturing you.
All right, all right, all right.
I don't know why you wouldn't be. I'm turning you up just a little bit. Huh. Voice channel stream was really quiet. Anyway, I don't know why. Okay, I adjusted it. We'll see if it comes in. So that was good. You had a successful. The call is quiet. Interesting. Properties. Desktop audio. Application audio. Discord. Talk real quick, Jacobo.
The Fitness Grand Pacer test is a physical test
Okay.
on I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, I think it. I don't know. That should work. It should be working.
Yeah, and I think the one thing was I think okay, so during the convention,
Yeah.
I was thinking about essentially just like like do I want to work the summer? And it's like God damn it, I've been like working nonstop, and I just like some break. I'd
Yeah.
like some break. I don't want to like 'cause, like I've been working like I think 10-hour shifts during the summer, and I don't really want to do that. So it's like damn, it's like I have to go back. I have to go back. I gotta do that again.
Yeah.
I don't, it's like nah, bro. I don't think I want to do that. I'm sorry. It's like I don't know. It's like, but at the same time, like you know, I won't have a source of income for the next 2 months if I just skip out. So I'm kind of just there, like, damn. And I don't know. Maybe I'm too scared to look for another job. That's because like I keep on hearing that the job market is just dog water.
Yeah.
and then one option is that I can go back to my old job and do the 10 hours, but like like that's kind of the reason why I became a became became a fucking para in the first place. So I wanted to do that again.
It became a what?
It's like a paraprofessional. It's
Oh,
yeah,
paraprofessional.
yeah. It's a noble job, but uh, you know, yeah, it's not for the weak. You know, basically, your job is to essentially kind of like make sure that the special needs kids that that are in the class that you were assigned,
Uh huh.
they manage to like you have they have a specialized education plan,
Oh
and
yeah.
like
Okay.
they have a specialized individual education plan, and you have to make sure that you have to make sure that you follow through on that education plan.
Yeah.
And also for I think for to make you say the class para, basically you're a teacher's assistant. Like
Got it. Yeah.
essentially you just go around, you pass out lunches, you pass out like I work in pre-K, so it's just me passing out lunches. It's me, it's just me like cleaning the cleaning up stuff, just stopping fights between the kids,
Yeah.
making sure that they're following the rules. It's I it's an alright job. So it's it's like that the talk that we had earlier, where it's like it's like you're working and you're while you're studying and trying to level up as an artist, but it's like kind of like this kind of sucks, but you have to do it.
Yeah. I did a bunch of I had a bunch of odd jobs when I was in the middle of like practicing. My friend was a pyrotechnician, and I helped him on fireworks shows. But basically, the job was like he would set up everything. I would help him like unload stuff, and then like he would set up everything properly, or like wire it up, to set off the explosions. And then he would set them off, and then there'd be like a whole bunch of trash because all the fireworks fall back down. And then I had to sweep them up. So it was like I had to just help unload and sweep up. But it paid a pretty decent little like hourly rate. I think it was like I don't know. It was a decent hourly rate for like assisting and like not actually like setting up because I didn't know I didn't know how to set up. Obviously, I'm not a project technician. But I did that with him for like about a year. He would call me out on different gigs. We did like this EDM festival. Um, and it took like all weekend. It was like 2 days of work. And then we did a fireworks show in like South Texas. It was like super hot. It was like in the middle of July. It was 4th of July. It was in the middle of July in like South Texas. And so I went out there with him. We stayed at a hotel. The company paid for everything, but like I was doing like pyrotechnician help, and then I was doing a bunch of odd freelance jobs that didn't pay me well at all. That's kind of what I was doing. I was probably about your age when I started because I was about 24.
I I'm I was 20. I'm 26 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the worst part about like working the 10-hour days, where it's like how hot it was.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there were days where like in during recess, you just had to stand outside in the sweltering heat, and it's like you're working with elementary school kids, and they like it's like they don't really understand. Like it's like, hey, like I shouldn't climb up the slide.
Yeah.
Even the fact that Jim Bob is on top, just ready to slide down, and I'm basically like I was like I just stood there, and I was kind of like the I was kind of like the traffic, like you know those traffic guys
Yeah.
tell you, yeah, I was basically that, but for like just the time for a very hot metallic slide that would just whose metallic surface would just bounce the hot sunlight just directly into my face, and I had to just deal with that for the
Yeah.
next half hour.
Yeah.
And I do not miss that at all.
Yeah. I had to teach. I taught an arts program during the summer in Texas, and at the time my car didn't have an AC, but it was broken. So I was just driving around to the different parks in like a car with no AC. It was terrible. I was just like, oh my god, this sucks so much. The teaching was fine. That part was fine, but just like being completely uncomfortable basically all day long. I was like uncomfortable right in the middle of the day. Oh, next pose. Oh, it's only 9. We'll do a couple more poses then. I think we'll take it to 9:30. 9:30. That gives me time to do some freelance. And anyone that just joined can do this. Um, this one's all back. Yeah, I did art for a year where I was doing like art for at-risk youth, and then I did a summer program. They asked me to come back for the summer program. They're like, "Well, you want to do the summer program? It's called Playgrounds. You go to the playgrounds during the summer." And I was like, "I guess so." And I was just like, "Oh my god, this sucks! Like, it's so hot."
I think I might have to ask about whether I can still sign up as a para for the summer program. Like the hours are decent. Like they're from like 8 to 1, and it's like that's not a lot. Yeah, that's why they're decent. I don't want to work 10 hours again.
Yeah,
But no, I'm good. No, I'm good, dude. No, I'm so tired.
yeah. It just
And also, I think I think the one thing that I'm kind of like noticing more as I get older is that I keep saying I'm so tired.
you can be tireder. You can be more tired. Um, I
More tired.
yeah, I like you feel tired now at 26, but when you turn 39, then you get tired. It's because death is calling you to the door.
Fuck, not today. No, fuck, not today. I'm not ready.
But yeah, the I got a big old new sketchbook. I mentioned it earlier on stream. Though y'all missed it, so y'all just showed up a little bit later today. But the uh, the stream, I started off doing the 1 minute poses like we normally do, and I probably got through like 5 or 6 of them. And then someone in chat was like, "Can we see what you're drawing?" So they didn't. The thing wasn't updating. It was like the window glitched. So like I was just drawing like poses for like I don't know. I guess 6 minutes of 6 minutes of poses, which is like 6 different poses. And then like nobody in the chat was able to watch anything I was doing. They was like, "Oh, can we see?" And I was like, "That's the whole point. You're supposed to be seeing." I was like, "God damn it, that's so stupid." Had to go back in and we had to start over and do some more poses. I was like, "Oh well, we'll just do some more poses." Completely off. Yeah. I we're London is on the daylight savings time now. We weren't a few weeks ago. So I've been on here for like an hour already.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
but I know that you it's probably the same time for you now, because but technically we're starting an hour earlier. I think, if I'm thinking of the math right.
Time.
We've done
It's
that.
such a strange thing.
Yeah, it's time. Gotta. I did my. This is so off. This drawing is so off. I did my.
Time.
Whatchamacallit? Life drawings tomorrow. We missed last week. They had to renovate. Or they were doing something to the building, so I missed last week. Or I didn't miss it. They didn't have it last week. So we're back on it tomorrow.
Time. It's a concept so strange that in the early 80s, Steven Spielberg made a movie about it, centering around Michael J. Fox as a teenager going back in time to the 50s and just kissing his mom. That's Back to the Future.
Did Steven Spielberg? He just produced it, right? He didn't direct it.
I think he produced it.
Yeah, I think because what's his name directed it? I can't think of his name.
Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah, Zemeckis.
Actually, no. Back to the Future was produced by Bob Gale and Neil Canton.
Ah,
But it was presented by Steven Spielberg.
yeah. I knew he was involved somehow, but
I could just imagine just like Rob Zemeckis, like it's like it's like he's in the writer's room, and it's like, uh, Mr. Spielberg, I'm glad that you like the movie, and I'm glad that you like the screenplay of Back to the Future, but I've been looking through your notes, and I have a little I have a I have some questions. Like, why is it so crucial that Michael J. Fox's character has to make out with his mom? Yeah, that's kind of
he doesn't make out with it though. He avoids the kiss. So she kisses him and she says, "It's like kissing my little brother."
Yeah,
And she gets all turned off by it because it's because it's incest.
yeah.
Or the preludes. The preludes to incest. Anyway, we'll get off that subject.
Oh, yeah,
I'm the one that whenever I drop the word. It's fine. uh, Look at this guy. This would be a good pose if you're trying to draw like a wrestler. If you're drawing a wrestler, this would be a good pose. If you're doing like a Hulk comic and you need to draw the back of Hulk, this would be a good pose.
Okay.
My dog is snoring next to me. He's just out.
Nice.
And all he does
Wait,
is sleep. What was that?
Was he a British bulldog or what type of breed is he?
He's some mutt we got in California.
Okay.
He's a mix. He's kind of like a Chihuahua Terrier. We did the DNA test on him because we were curious, and he's actually 20% pit bull. That's the largest component, But he doesn't look anything like a pit bull. He looks like a little, kind of like this little Chihuahua Terrier dog.
Mm.
But he basically sleeps all day. I need to take him for longer walks. I haven't been taking him out for longer walks recently. But I need to make myself go out there because I should have taken him today for a longer walk because I ran yesterday. So today would have been the day I'd take him out for a long walk. I try and do it every other day. Like I do a run one day, then I do a long walk with him the next day. That's kind of what I try to do. I get busy with work sometimes, and I'm like, I don't have time to walk. But I should make time to walk him. Like I do walk him. I don't walk him for like a really long walk. Dog, he just sleeps all day though. He's a good dog. I gave him a big old a lamb's ear. He didn't finish it.
Huh.
It's like he looked like he had like a third of it. And it's too big for him, so he's just gonna save the rest for later. So you're going out to different you're going out to like a dance night is that weekly?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been, it's a good way to desensitize myself around women. That way I won't get. Well, yeah, it's funny, but it's true. It's like, hey, it's like, like a lot of dudes, like they look at women, they're like, oh my god, oh, it's a female, oh, and like they overthink themselves to oblivion, and that's a problem that I had. It's like the only time like where I felt like completely comfortable around women, where I used to have this like female coworker named Jazz.
Uh-huh.
She was gay, and because
Uh-huh.
of that, like I was able to basically talk to her like as if we were friends, as if she
Oh.
was like just a bro of mine, and it was like yeah, honestly, I kind of miss that. I miss being able to do that,
You can go to
and
lesbian bars and meet more lesbians.
you know what? But at the same time, it's like that'd be great, but at the same time, it's like you know, like if I go there, it's like it's like it's like I feel like there's this indigenous island, right? And every time a visitor goes there, they like they end up not surviving because like the locals kill them.
You
And it's
think the
like
lesbians will kill you?
I'm not like that. I mean, obviously the it's okay. It sounds fucking hilarious. Yes, I know it sounds silly,
Sorry,
but
I'm not
it's like
trying
I feel like I
to.
feel like it's like a granted the comparison is a bit wild, but I'm
Hmm.
just saying it's like if I just go to a lesbian bar, it's like, man, like it's like I feel like it's like I feel like I'm not welcome there.
Yeah,
And
well, I think
it's there for
for
me,
the record, I don't think I should actually go to a lesbian bar to make friends.
Oh,
I don't think you should literally do it, but
I
I
was
just
actually kind of
I just think it'd be funny if that's like some guy was like, "I'm just here to make friends."
I'm so lonely. I have no female friends. I'm just here to make some. Would any of you like to talk about Smash Bros with me, please?
uh, that's pretty
Like
funny.
Donald Glover is playing Yoshi, and I'm still not over that.
He is playing Yoshi.
Yeah, yeah. Donald Glover is playing Yoshi in the new Mario Brothers movie, and it's like I'm a huge fan of Donald Glover and his work. Like, I've been following him since like his old Derek comedy days,
Hmm.
and like he of course he's done like amazing work as Troy in Community, and then of course he did Atlanta, and that was awesome. And then basically it's like he I haven't watched Bando Stone, but I
Hmm.
want to, and it's he's done so much like amazing. He's had so many amazing strides in like in his career,
Yeah.
and when I heard that Donald Glover was just decided to be Yoshi in the new Mario movie, it's like, dude, what the fuck? What are you doing? And it's like, it's like, you had Awaken My Love, Atlanta, his film work, his music work, and then his next creative endeavor is just him in a booth going Yoshi for the
Do,
for
do
the
you,
for the,
you I get where you're
the
coming
next
from.
hours.
I get where you're coming
Yeah,
from, but there's just a ton of money involved.
I
He
know, I
wants all that
understand.
money.
I understand. I understand. That's like it's like why do you
you
do it? Like what
you
did you like look at who's that bald guy from Fast and Furious?
Vin Diesel.
And you looked at Vin Diesel doing Groot, I am Groot, and you said and you like just wanted to do that.
Did I think it's how it works though in Hollywood. It's the one for you, one for me kind of thing. You heard of that?
Yeah. No, no, I'm too. I'm not. I'm. I'm. I'm not the full Hollywood guy. I don't know.
So the way it
He's.
works is this guy is like freaking out. The way it works is you do one for like the studios to make a bunch of money. Like someone like Scarlett Johansson. She's as the Avengers, and it's like one of the biggest movies ever, the Avengers, right? I'm gonna skip this pose. I want a female model. Um, hold on. Her again? We could do her, I guess. Do I want to do her? Kind of want a similar pose. I'm being real picky. This will be the last pose, for me at least. Y'all can keep going. This one's good. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, one for me. So Scarlett Johansson does like Avengers, right? She does like she's Black Widow. She's in the Avengers. Makes a ton of money. Did you ever see Under the Skin?
mm, I've. I think. Okay. So basically, this might be embarrassing to
Well,
say, but
hold on.
yeah,
Just a quick yes or no question. Did you ever see Under the Skin?
yes, but
Okay.
not for the artsy reasons.
Well, okay.
I was.
The whole point is Under the Skin is a very artsy film, and Scarlett Johansson wanted to make that film because to her that was more creative film, and so she does Avengers. It's like that's the money making film, and then she does like the art film, which is like just not making her like a ton of money, but she probably wanted to do that film to kind of showcase her acting. And that's kind of like one for you, one for them. So Donald Glover does all his own projects, and so he does like these crazy original things that he does himself, and then he's Yoshi because Yoshi pays in the big bucks, and the ideally what's going to happen, he's going to come out with something later, like probably next year, a couple years, really unique that like he only would have been able to do because he got paid to do Yoshi. So that's what I mean by one for you, one for them. It's kind of, I mean, it's how it works in
the
I mean,
business.
with any business. I mean, even like because you're trying to become an illustrator, like it's the same deal. Like you're gonna work for like you know everyone. I know you love Warhammer, but like doing Warhammer isn't going to be the last thing you do for like what you want to do as an artist. You're going to eventually get like a Warhammer job. You're going to be like, oh, I did it. That's it. I did Warhammer. And then like you're going to want to do something different. And so like what's going to happen is like doing Warhammer will pay you some good money, and then you'll end up doing your own project on the side. Maybe it's your own comic or your own illustration series, and that'll be like what you end up doing. Like that's what I do. Like I do the freelance and my day job at the video game company. That's like what I do for money, But then like I have my own ideas I want to do on the side, like so. I think most artists like this. I don't think there's very few artists that just want to do the professional work nonstop. Like they always have some side project they do. Like all the best concept artists do like their own art books with all their own stuff, or they do like oil paintings for fun. And it's like, why are they doing this? Oh, because they like it. They do that because they like it, and then they do the job because it makes money. And they like the job too, but
Okay, I get it. Like basically, like Dave Raposa, he does like basically key art and concept work for various game companies, and then like in his spare time, he does like Steve Lichman and like Starvale.
Yeah, I mean that's how kind of how it works with like for me, I was really busy this year with last year, I guess. The end of last year and the beginning of this year, I was doing a board game project, and it took up like all my free time. And then I got another game project, which is nice, but like at this point, like I've done two of these board game projects, and like I'm kind of ready to just work on my own work for a little bit, and like I got the money for those. It was nice. I was able to say I did them. I was like, hey, I did this, and like that's cool. But now it's time for me to like. I feel like I made her too skinny. Now it's time for me to like work on my own thing and like focus on improving my skills, and that's kind of why I've been doing all the life drawing and the figure drawing. It's like I'm trying to like improve so that when it comes time for me to work on my own thing, I'll have all my skills kind of sharpened, and then that'll be kind of what I end up doing.
I mean, I don't know. Do you have
That's my
do
goal. What was that?
you have any like ideas like for your own thing? Is it like a comic book? Is it like a
I got no
art
ideas, man.
book?
No ideas. No,
No
I'm
ideas.
joking. I have I have a daily comic I do every day. Um,
Oh wait, the thing that you do with your kids?
well, no, yes and no. I do this comic, but I have no kids, so I don't.
Oh wait, give me a second. Like oh,
They're
there's like
non-existent. My kids are non-existent, but I do a comic.
oh
I don't have kids. I have a dog.
okay. You have a dog? Oh my bad.
Um,
What about like the weirdos? That's your thing?
that's my thing. That's my daily comic.
Oh, the weirdos.
It's Colin and the Weirdos. It's my. I do that once a day. It's a really quick little thing I do, but I've been doing it for over a year now, every day. I missed yesterday because I was busy, but I normally do it every day. Um, and that's I'm going to develop that into like a book probably. The comic is just the comic I do every day for practice, but then I'm going to do like an actual a book with the characters, and um, that'll be more like a one-off thing that I do. I'm working on that in the background, but yeah, that's one thing I do, and then I want to just make some illustrations on my own for fun. Um, I'm trying to. One of my big goals going into the latter part of this year, into the summer, and basically the rest of this year. One of my big goals is to stop doing so much fantasy. I'm really sick of doing fantasy. Um, I've done like fantasy, like on and off for years. It's all people want is fantasy. Everyone wants fantasy, and I it's my bad because I don't have any non. I have very little non fantasy because I don't get paid to do um, a bunch of non fantasy often. But I'm sick of doing fantasy, so my goal is to do some horror images and some sci-fi images, and promote those and try and get some sci-fi and horror work because I'm really just tired of fantasy. Um, I've done so many wizards, magical books. I did that board game project. I had to paint 90 different magical books, um, and so I've painted so many magical books for one project. That's I've had enough. No more magical books. Um, yeah, I'm just tired of fantasy at this point. I'm like sick of it. So yes, I got. But in order to get non-fantasy things, I got to show that I can do non-fantasy stuff. So I gotta work on some images to promote my abilities. And so that's kind of my goal.
I mean, like, what type of sci-fi are you kind of into? Because like I feel like sci-fi, it's a very like very broad, very broad you know,
Yeah, I'm
like
probably gonna
category.
do. I'm gonna probably
Like,
do. I have some ideas for almost like a. I really um, like heavy metal magazine,
oh, okay, that yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the
like
Meta Barons.
yeah, like Meta Barons and stuff like that kind of
Right.
sci-fi where it's like kind of like I'd like for the images I make to feel like a heavy metal magazine. Like I like people to be like, wait, is this like a comic or something? Like ideally that'd be the response I want people to have. Like I want people to see my images and be like, wait, is there more of this? That's kind of what I'd like to do with my sci-fi images, and with the horror images, I just want to do some really, you know, terrible horror, not terrible, really horrific horror images. So people are like, oh my god, we should hire you for a movie, and then they get hired on to do a horror movie, and then my dreams come true.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
But that's kind of my goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what my goal is, man. I like I keep on bouncing back from like from like career goal to career goal. It's like I want to do comics. Now I want to do illustration. I want to do comics. I want to do illustration. I feel like the reason why I glommed on to illustration and digital painting was because it's like I was afraid of like I was afraid of being like financially destitute.
Yeah,
Like and comics like it's a great art form and it's an amazing tool for storytelling. You could make a great career with comic books, but for the most part, it's like just it's like it's like Easter famine.
yeah. I mean, that's how it is with most illustration work. You gotta just. I posted a video. You gotta just. There's ways to do it. You gotta like there, there's ways to get more client work. It's just a thing where you gotta be making really good work, which is hard. That part's hard. It's not as easy just to make really good work. I think it's easy to say that, but it's hard for people to like make. You can make really technically good work and no one will care. You gotta have interesting work, which is tough. Um, but you make like interesting work, post it regularly, kind of show that you do this stuff regularly, and then the goal is that like you get a reputation for posting interesting things, and then depending on where you're posting it, you garner attention by drumming up responses. So like you gotta like if you're let's say you're posting on Instagram, you're posting interesting stuff on Instagram, like maybe once a week you post something interesting, like I don't know, some study that's really good and like looks interesting, and then you go to like you find an art director for one of your favorite video games on Instagram, and you like they post work, and then what you do is you comment on their post, and you're like, oh my god, I love this work. I really appreciate what you did for this, and then you start building up a repertoire, a reputation, a repertoire. And then anyway, you build up a reputation of communication with somebody, and you got to be authentic about it. You got to actually like the work, and then like you get a conversation going, and then you comment on their work, you share their work, you just talk about how excited you are about it. You got to be legitimately excited. You can't just make it up. And you do that on a regular basis, and then ideally, you basically got the attention of like this art director because you were legitimately a fan. And then in the future, when you post up something that's like perfect for their project, they'll be like, "Oh, that's that guy that always comments on my piece. Oh, he just made a really sick piece of art." And then like it's just a slow build up, but like that's how you gotta like plant seeds all over the place, and then that and just networking. Networking is one of the best ways to get work, which is it's again easier to say than it is to do. But I mean, you're networking right now. We're together right now. We're networking, just chatting and keeping in touch, and like you know, in the future, if there's something that comes up that I'm like, oh, I can't do this work, and I could be like, oh, Hakobo, he does work like this. and then like I can send you a job or something. That's kind of how it works. But that shouldn't be the only reason you talk to people, but it's definitely a side reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I used to go to a sketch. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I went to a sketch group like every week for like 2 years back in my
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you talked about this in like in our first podcast.
Yeah, so I went to that sketch group for like 2 years, and I was just going there to meet people and get to know other professionals, because the sketch group I found was like it was specifically a sketch group for like industry professionals to meet up once a week and draw. So it wasn't like a casual sketch group of like just hobbyists. It was like everyone there was like at a game studio, and I met up with them, and at first they were really skeptical about me because I was like, well, I'm like a freelancer, I want to do this, and they were like, okay, and I could tell they were kind of like, whatever, man, like we don't trust you, and I just kept coming every week, and I kept showing off, like I was showing up, and then I was doing like decent work, in front of them because I was drawing in front of them, and then like they got to know me, and it was over the course of like 2 years. Uh, One guy just reached out to me one day and was like, "Hey, are you free to help me on this project?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I guess so." And he was like, "Yeah, so I need help on it, and like you've got good work, and you seem really nice. I see you here every week, so if, I'd love for you to help me on this project." So I was like, "All right." So then I started helping him, and it was like at the time, it was like it was like the highest paid work I ever got. It was like I was getting paid like $75 an hour to paint, and so I was literally just making money by painting. It was crazy. But like at the time, that was like the most money I've ever made from a contract. Oh, that was the end of it. I'm stopping real quick. And by real quick, I mean for the night. Um, anyway, so I don't know. Networking's really good. Um, Let me turn off this thing real quick. Update. Hello, everyone. I'm going to organize my little drawings to post up in the Discord. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still
Okay,
here.
cool.
Uh, I also wanted to ask about like the thing that I sent you. I think the World Eater piece that I sent you.
The Warcraft thing,
Uh,
Warhammer.
the, the, yeah, the Warhammer thing. Yeah.
Um, yeah. What about it? Like it looks good. Are
Good.
you're? It looks good to me. Are you? You're still gonna? You feel it looks unfinished though. You're gonna like finish it up more.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it up more, but at the same time, it's like, I'm also like juggling like this piece with like another piece. It's
Mm-hmm.
the piece that I'm working on with the Anthony Chong Jones mentorship.
Yeah, that's the Superman one, right?
Yeah, Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks good. If anyone's just joining, we did a lot of the 15-minute poses today, so um, that's kind of these sketches look more developed than the last. Normally they're just a bunch of doodles. Um, I think it's looking good. I think you just need to wrap it up. Are you gonna like put a background in it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was trying to put a background in it. Like it's a like just the background was just like a couple of like other like Chaos Space Marines watching as and like they're before this fire, and the lighting is still kind of like up in the air.
Hmm. I think just like it looks like a good to me. It looks like a good work in progress because that one guy's so finished, and then the guys in the background look like they just look like they need to be more finished. So it's just reading to me like you need a little bit more finish on it, but it's kind of a. Were you planning on adding more, or were you planning on just calling it done? Or
I'm thinking of adding more. Thinking of just like making this into another portfolio piece.
alternatively, you could. Let me take a look at it in a second. Hold on. I'll pull it up on stream, if you mind.
Yeah, sure. No, no, of course. Do what you got to do.
Okay, I'm just organizing all my little poses. I mentioned this on the very first day, but at the end of the life drawing session, you always show off your little work. Everyone does that. So I'm just posting up all I have extra poses because I started, like I said, I started doing poses. No one saw the models, so I had to like go back and redo them. I was like, so I got extra poses today that I but let me pull it up real quick. I just want to take a look while you're here.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay, these are the poses. Okay, this is from today. I'm gonna lighten the background a bit. And then I'm just gonna save this. Oh wait, I gotta hide my screen real quick. Gotta hide the screen. Save it. Send it to myself. Sends. I'm gonna open up your thing real quick. It's in the chat. Here it is. Save image. And then I gotta take the image, save it, share it to my iPad. Okay, and then it opens up my iPad. Then I gotta close that, open that, import the image. Okay, and now I just share. Not wrong screen. There we go. Boom. There's your image. Okay. So it looks like to me you've got this guy up here holding the head of this dead guy, and then he's on a hill, and then there's guys down here that are like, dude, that's dope, or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm seeing it right.
Yeah, you showed that you showed that Smurf what for? Boom.
Yeah, I
Take
think
that, the woman.
I think just you gotta render the flames a little bit more, right? You want the flames to look like flames. I get that there's lighting, but it doesn't read as flames yet. So it kind of looks like it could be dust, like it's like it could be like just a dusty whatchamacallit, like a cloud of dust blowing behind him. So you need to like put in the red, the orange color, and like have the flames like licking up here, and then like you got the whatchamacallit, the little embers, and they're kind of like yellow, I guess. They're like yellow embers flickering off, and you could probably, what you really want to do is you want to, for the orange flames, you want to kind of like, don't do what I just did. You got to like design it. You got to like think about how the flames flow with the image. So maybe the flames are like kind of curving up this way and creating like a little convenient like cup shape, like kind of house your dude. And then like, maybe it's kind of like that, where the flames are licking up that way. Something like that. You could think of something different. You can, but like, if the flames are conveniently framing him in a way where it's like, oh, that's kind of convenient that it frames him so beautifully, and then like you got the flames doing that, And then these guys down here, you just need to like finish it. You know, it's just that you've given yourself an image where you need to draw like, what is this? One guy, two guys, maybe.
I was hoping maybe like silhouettes that I'd use like atmospheric perspective to, to my advantage. Like, yeah, I don't have to give them the detail that I gave, the guy up front. I could just be lazy and just put in silhouettes and then make it less, opaque.
Yeah, you can do that. You would still need to do like maybe one, two, three. Let's do it in blue. You need to do 3 of them that look a little more finished, because you want to showcase that, like, okay, this is a crowd of dudes. You're not going to paint every single dude, but you still need to do like 3 of them that look somewhat finished. Not to the level of this guy, but just somewhat more finished, because you want people to look at the crowd and go, "Oh, it must be all those dudes." And then, like, so you need like 3 that are kind of finished, and do a little bit more, like make them look kind of unique from each other. Or I guess, I don't know, they all look the same because they're an army, right? They might all look the same. Do the 3 finished guys, then you do like the silhouette the thing you're talking about. You should have it like, you should have fun with it though. If you're gonna draw 3 guys to sell this thing, like maybe the guy in the front's like raising up his arm like "fuck yeah," and then like this guy might be like shooting his gun in the air or something. Like he might be, I don't know if they have guns, but I don't know the lore at all, so keep that in mind. But like maybe he's got his gun in the air and he's like shooting the air where he's like, "We killed this guy," and then like maybe the guy in the front's just like bloodlusty. He's just like leaning over and like looking all rotten and like yeah, like fuck yeah, this is awesome. I love this shit. Like, so you can like give them personalities, because you're gonna need to draw them anyway. So you might as well have fun drawing them. So you make them more unique, and just it's gonna be a little bit more work. And part of you might be like, ugh, I gotta draw 3 more guys. But it's your image. You should have fun with it. You don't want to be like, you're just saying, I'll do the silhouettes because I'm gonna be lazy. But like, that's gonna show in your image when you're done. Someone's gonna look at it and go, "Oh, he had a really like." Where's my green? Like, someone's gonna look at your image and go, "He had a lot of fun drawing this guy." Then he basically gave up and just do all this other stuff. So the alternative you have, if you don't want to do any of the stuff I just talked about, is you could just take this image and then just crop it. Just say like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna do any of that stuff." You could just crop the image, and that'll save you from having to do a big crowd. If you just want to do one dude with some flames holding the head, that could be like, now it's done. You call it done right there. Um, you know, but you've got this big frame, so you kind of need to do it justice.
Right.
I always tell myself this whenever I'm doing illustration, or even in my daily life. Like, if I put something down and I know I need to, like, if I know I need to take the trash out, I'll be like, I'll do that later. I'm too busy to take the trash out. And then I'll stop and tell myself, just don't be lazy. And so then I'll go grab the trash, walk it out, throw it away. It takes like maybe a minute to walk the trash out. It's barely a minute even, because I could walk upstairs, downstairs, take it outside, and walk the trash out. And in the end, I didn't actually take that long doing it. I just had to do it. I was just procrastinating because I didn't want to do it. So you saying you might want to just do silhouettes because you're going to be lazy, it's like, is it really going to take you that long to just paint those guys though? I think it's not going to take as long as you think if you just did it. If you just actually sat there and drew these dudes out, like this guy's like raising his arm up like "fuck yeah," and then like this guy's like over here like with both arms up like "yeah," That could be fun. And then this guy here has like his gun, so maybe all three of them are celebrating, and like you got this interesting image of these guys celebrating in the background. That becomes interesting, and then like people see your image and you go, oh wow, he like put all these little details in there. That's really interesting, and, like really nice. He wasn't being lazy. They see people. I would think that if I saw this image and there was a bunch of guys in the background doing stuff, I'd be like, wow, they had a lot of patience. They really went there and did it. Anyway, that's my feedback for you. Just that you should finish it. Just bite the bullet and finish it. And just be like, you know what? I'm going to fucking do it. I'm just going to finish it and make it look really good. And, I think it'll be worth it.
Okay.
You could probably draw faster than you realize, too. I think you're in AJ's mentorship. Like, you gotta just paint with more confidence. You can probably, like, we're doing these life drawing things. Like if you come down here and you start sketching out the guy, you could probably like start getting a guy in here, and then he has arm up in the air, and then like he's got his little armor. You kind of start doodling it out, and like I'm already locking in some of the structure now because they're pretty easy to draw because they're like real chunky. It's like, okay, I already got some of the structure locked in here. And that took like, a few seconds. And then you kind of go on top of it and be like, okay, now I'm going to refine it. You start refining and start sketching. And then like, maybe he's got those horns too. I don't know if the armor should have that or not, but you start doing your refinement, start putting the lines in. And like with the time you're actually done drawing, if you keep moving and keep going forward with your drawing, I think you'll find that you're faster than you realize if you just keep moving your pen and just keep going, and like don't stop and like put on a new video in the background or change, put on a playlist that you already know you love and just sit down and grind it out and just knock this image out. That's my advice to you. Just make it interesting. Don't just draw the guys standing here doing nothing. It's like, if you're going to draw them doing nothing, then why are you even drawing them? You should make them doing some cool stuff. Like they should be, maybe these guys here, maybe tell more of a story. Maybe these guys here, like there's two more red guys. Maybe there's two red guys here, and they're both like holding a blue guy, like they're holding him here, like you're next, motherfucker. We're gonna cut your head off, and like they're just like they got their hand on the back of his head, and they're just like forcing him to watch. Like that's like an interesting story. Like then it's like, oh, these guys are like about to like murder this guy. He's like executing these guys. Like that's interesting. It's more than just, oh, these guys are watching. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You start telling more of a story, and I think the more exciting the story is for you, the more fun you're going to have drawing it. You're going to be like, oh, actually, I really want to draw this now because it's like interesting, and like it's not just people standing. Because drawing people standing is kind of boring. But if you draw people doing interesting things, then it's better, in my opinion. Anyway, hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Could you the screen? Okay, did you like send the the paint overs to me, possible?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll just save these out for you real quick. I'm keeping it off the stream just because I'm signing off for the evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Figure Drawing Night. We'll be back next week. I got to get some freelance done, so thanks for chatting with me. Hakobo. Yes?
Yep.
With the O, with the emphasis on the other O.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for chatting. We'll be back next week. Thank you guys very much. Post your stuff up in the Discord if you know what I'm talking about. I'll try and get you a link to the Discord. But anyway, talk to you later. See ya.
All right.